number one.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. It's the Gamer Nerd Wizards here with the rapper Mumbles. Back to you guys with another episode of the Dark Before Dark podcast.
Week 7.
And today we're going to be talking about employment, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
For some of last year.
A lot of last year. Way too much of last
2020
year.
2020 was fun.
Mumbles just got done eating out of trash cans type year. Yeah. It was a good time.
In the beginning of the year for me.
My favorite part of COVID was?
What?
When everything got like really bad, and because of technicalities, I didn't get any of the stimulus checks. And then I lost my job immediately after all of that. It was great.
Retweet.
Don't worry, I could not collect unemployment because of my boss.
Yeah.
2020 was a good year, I think, for everybody. I think everybody took a lot of W's in 2020.
No. Like, the beginning of the year was a little rough for me.
More than our exes.
The beginning of the year was a little rough for me, but after about June, it was looking up pretty well. But I know it was like
the only person that had a good 2020. Like every time, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this happened this year. This happened this year." I'm over here like, "Yeah, I totaled my car and lost my job and went broke and da 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 da." And you're like, I had one of the best years of my life. I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm glad one of us did, Coda."
Yeah, it was a pretty solid year for me. The downsides, I lost all 3 of my jobs at the beginning of the year. I just broke up with my girlfriend of 4 years, so it took a little week to get used to that.
Yeah, but that was all stuff that stressed you out. You were fine.
Well, the jobs part really sucks.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, I was so happy when she was gone. But
I will never forget. Okay, so we haven't talked about his ex. See, here we go. I have to preview for the next episode right now. We won't get into his ex and why he loved her so much yet. But it was my birthday that he broke up with her. And I'm about 20th. To blow out candles. And he just looked over and was like, "I'm going to save money for Christmas." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
That's how I told my parents.
Look. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Dakota. It only took you 4 years."
Yeah. Oh god, that felt so good. That next day I will never forget. We all went to the mall. That was the first time I hung out with my brothers and my cousin Jesse in 4 years. So
yeah. It really was. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Your long stay. See, that's why I kind of like that Cassidy lives in another state, and you guys get your designated weekends, because we get you all the other times.
Well, yeah, but she also likes you guys. So even when she is here, we all hang out.
Yeah, so I can actually hang out with you. It was like, "Oh, yeah, don't worry, Jesse, we'll hang out, but after 2 a.m.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
And I just dropped her name, so you'll have to bleep that out.
Yeah,
we're still respectful.
We're gonna get into all the specifics about that a little bit later, but very stressful.
Before we get into work, as you guys might notice, I'm in a new location. Not new location, but same stuff. Both of my roommates moved out of my house, so now this is mine. So I now have a full studio. I can't show you all of it because I have stuff on the walls that you guys can't see yet.
I've seen it. It looks pretty dope.
This is the new setup. So yeah, if it weirds you out, I'm sorry. You can leave. I understand. I don't like change either, but sometimes we got to do that as adults. We're gonna get through it together.
Yeah, nothing in his room I'm sure is final, because he literally just finished moving it yesterday. There's always room for improvements. So, and more shit to be hung up. No, I haven't even seen it in person yet, but I'm just saying, if they don't like it,
you're assuming
there's time to change. He literally finished it last night.
Yeah, leave my $5 Walmart lamp alone.
And my strange music flag.
Shut up. I know you can't see it because we can't see each other right now.
No.
But I was at Walmart yesterday, trying to buy stuff for the house, and I was like, "Oh shoot, these lamps are $5." And I was like,
I have that same lamp in my storage unit.
It is literally the cheap. As soon as I got it out of the box, I was like, that's why it's $5.
That's $5
the top part of it is basically a styrofoam plate just thrown on top.
Yep. Nope. I know exactly what lamp you have, and I haven't even seen yours yet.
It screws in like every 5 inches.
Yep.
Yep, I love it.
Literally the same. I love that
Looks
so
fine.
much.
It produces light. We're all
Yeah,
good.
if you don't get too close to it, you can't even tell that it's not like
Honestly, like from here,
$15.
like it's like, oh, that looks nice. It ties in the room. Add a little more light. I got my LEDs in. You know, we good. We chilling.
Yep. And Jesse is currently in his studio / podcast room. So
yeah.
his studio mic, I think the way he told me, is not near him. So right now he's using a different audio source, but we're gonna fix
so if my
this
audio
as time
sounds a little
goes
weird,
on.
I'm literally using just AirPods for all my audio. So please don't yell at me. I had to put my mic in a stationary spot because I'm starting to mess up my cord, moving it for the podcast and then moving it for me to record. So now it's just in a designated corner, and I'm on the complete opposite side of the room from it as Spectre. But yeah, so please don't yell at me. Again, if you can just turn this podcast off. I know there's a lot different. You guys are not going to enjoy it. So
Whatever.
I think we just clip it at 5 minutes. I think this is this week's.
All right, that's it for today's episode. Roll the outro. Yeah, Jesse, do your weird noise.
I got to do the weird noise. That weird noise just became like a part of me.
I will not end the podcast without that.
I know the one you're like, Jesse, you didn't do it. You got to re-record that and send me the separate 2-second video of you just going. Bah!
Yep, I threw that in at the end. It's necessary.
You did.
It's necessary. Otherwise, the podcast isn't complete. Like I do the weird peace sign for no reason, and then you make your weird noise.
Exactly, it works out. Well, I started doing it in songs and stuff too. So like in a couple in the back, it's like, bah, bah, bah. You know, rapper things.
For all the podcast people out there, and then you guys will.
It's part of the job. My manager was like, you can't do anything further without having your own signature little weird noise for no reason.
Bah!
Yeah, it's like a mating call type thing.
Mating call.
All right, Wizards. We're wasting time because time is valuable.
Time is money nowadays.
You said what?
Time is money nowadays, and you know how you know another way to get money? Jobs.
True. Speaking of jobs, this is good. We're really working this in naturally. Coda, where was your first place of employment?
My first real working job for money.
That doesn't sound super sketchy at all. Like, up until 14, I sold drugs, but after that, I got my life together, and now I work at Home Depot.
Hey, we know that I was the good kid until about 2020.
Whoa. Are you insisting that I was not a good kid?
We talked about this in the school episode, so yes. What I was referring to was the volunteer stuff, which we'll get into in another episode. That's free work, but for a good cause, obviously.
Was it work, though?
For the first, year it was, yeah.
Pretty much what the agreement was is we'll wear the zoo's badge and support their little brand and logo, and they'll let us in for free. We didn't work.
We gave people directions sometimes if they asked.
No, we didn't.
Shut up. All right, we're going to say that for another episode. My first job was a grocery store. On my end, I'm probably going to bleep out the bigger names because, I had a decent-sized engineering job. I'm probably going to bleep out that name just because I don't need anything coming back to them.
To return it?
Yeah. My first job was at a grocery store called Family Fare. It used to be Bag and Save and used to be No Frills. It was No Frills when I first started working there.
Wait, you started working at No Frills?
Yeah, I had that job for 3.5 years.
What a flex.
Something about me is I don't like quitting things. I hate it. At one point, we'll get there in a second, I had 3.5 jobs because I just kept continually getting more, and I wouldn't quit the ones that I had previously because I built those relationships there, and I had a pretty good relationship with my bosses and everything. Jesse, no comment yet.
I'm just waiting. As soon as you let me, I'm gonna keep letting you go. It's on the tip of my tongue.
But yeah, I got that when I was 15 or 16, about $8.50 an hour, nothing too crazy. I started out as a cashier. I really learned to hate customer service, and there's definitely terrible people out there. So treat your
And as you
workers
guys
nice.
know from the podcast, Wizards is not a people person.
Not in person. There's so as everybody knows, there's bad people everywhere. But
What?
holy crap, working as a cashier, I just so much more respect for people that worked as cashiers because I went through so much hell. Like the biggest assholes
Especially
for
you
no
went
reason.
to one in the middle of the ghetto.
That also, yeah. No, definitely saw some very peculiar things. Caught a couple people stealing, but since I'm only a cashier, I literally had to just watch them walk out the store since my manager was slow to get to them. Like I would report it and then be like, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. If you remember their face, just tell me next time. Like, this sucks. It's like I was always the guy that was like, hold on, that guy's putting stuff in his sleeves. He's a little sketchy. And they would be like, oh yeah, you actually can't do that. You have no right to like touch them, tell them anything or anything. But
that was how it was at Walgreens too. When I worked at Walgreens, I'm getting ahead, but it ties in. Yeah, like that. We had the same rule, like because there was one time somebody was stealing a bunch of stuff, and like I jumped over the counter trying to be Superman, and my manager was like, "Hey, if you try to stop him again, you're getting fired." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm trying to help," and I guess it's just like a safety thing. So like if you try to stop them and they cut you up into a bunch of pieces,
or they pull out a gun and they put a bunch of holes in you, then they don't want it to be their fault. But yeah, I remember this.
Like sliced cheese.
Swiss cheese.
That's what I meant to say.
I remember this one time though, this guy came through my checkout lane, and I was like, his sleeve's like really thick and it keeps moving. I'm like, do you want me to scan the bottle that's in your sleeve on the other side? He's like, what? I was like, the bottle that's in there. I see it. It's poking out the bottom. You want me to scan it? You want me to scan it for you? He's like, man, fuck this, and he just slams it on the table, breaks the bottle, and fucking leaves the store. I'm like, all right, I got one. That's all I needed.
Mom, I saved the day. Do I get a raise?
I'm like 1 in 6.
I'm 1 in 6. That's what my score is usually in Call of Duty, so you're good.
So yeah, my next like quote unquote job, it was still at the same location. I just moved from being a cashier to working in like the back end of the store, but I'm sure that happened after Jesse's first job, so I'll let him get into his first job story first.
Okay, so I've been waiting to say this. Me and Wizards are very similar in a lot of ways, but there's a couple things that are different about us. One of those is his whole like, I never wanted to quit jobs because I grew relationships.
Because he's so bad with keeping jobs.
I'm 21 years old, and I'm not joking. I've probably had 15 different jobs. Yeah, I'm not. If I go somewhere and I'm like, you know what, I'm not feeling the vibe, I'm out. I'm going. Yeah. I mean, I take care of business. I've been out of my parents' house for 2 years, and I keep bills paid. But yeah, no, I've had a lot of jobs. My first job I had was actually like my favorite job. And I had worked there for a long time, but it was
I don't even remember what yours was.
Menards.
I knew Menards was in there. I didn't know that was your first one.
Yep, first job ever was Menards. I was 15. And it was such a good job. I like construction work, and like I'm good at construction work. So like I knew stuff around there and everything. Like the people were sweet. The customers really weren't that much of a problem. I made a lot of friends there. I really liked Menards actually. The pay was good. I was making like $12 an hour at 15, and I thought I was rich.
Yeah, that was bills. That was like $4 an hour more than mine. So.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. So why I left that job? That was like one of the only jobs I didn't quit. It was kind of like a mutual agreement. So what happened with that one and why I lost it was back when I went on that New Way trip. Their little system, because I brought it up when I first started working. I was like, "Hey, I got this trip coming up," and I talked about it in the previous podcast. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch the other episodes. But the trip was 2 weeks, and I told them, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks. Like, is there any issues with that? Just letting you guys know so you guys are aware. I'm just trying to be transparent. And they were like, no, it shouldn't be a problem. Our system will kick you out after you don't clock in for 2 weeks, just automatically. So, but we'll just like, basically rehire you without all the paperwork and stuff, and it'll be good. You'll be fine. So I was like, cool, I'm good. But
I'm set.
while I was working there, you said what?
I said I'm set.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we're good. Let's chill. And I really enjoyed that job, and I was good at it too. And time came around for the New Ways trip, and I was like, okay, so like I'm about to be gone for 2 weeks. Like, are we still good? And they're like, oh no, not at all. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, corporate just changed policy, and you have to be 18 to work here now. You're 15, so
we can't rehire you.
We can't hire you back. And I was like, are you serious? They're like, yeah. And they were sad to see me go. I was sad to leave. Like, I missed that job. Was really nice. I really liked that job. So yeah. I didn't quit my first one. I left on good terms. I could still like show my face in that one. I still go to Menards. I try to go there instead of Lowe's, Any of my other jobs, not so much. They hate me. But yeah, that was my first work experience was good too. I liked that job. It's like one of the only ones I did like.
Yeah,
everything else sucked.
Yeah, my first job wasn't terrible. Like the customers, they were probably some of the worst people I've ever worked with, but my like the people that worked with me, like I made some pretty good friends with some people I didn't expect to make friends with. Like not as much in the front end when I worked as a cashier, but when I worked in the back,
I remember that.
When I worked in the back, there was only me and two other guys. Well, I guess there was three, but we always, like, nobody liked the other guy. Because, like, he like, drank on the job, and he did, like, everything that you're not supposed to do at your job. So,
wait, you're not supposed to drink on the job?
No. So...
Maybe that's why I've had 15 different jobs. My bad. I'm kidding.
Yeah, we collectively didn't enjoy the other guy as much. Not, like, him personally, but... No, he was, like 40, and he was like not like most people that have like been on this planet really know how to like get to work and like get their stuff done, but yeah, he just like seemed to have had enough of the bullshit and was done. So yeah, he didn't really do any work, but
you were that old working there, you'd be done too, Coda.
Yeah. But the people that I worked with were pretty cool. They both played video games. They were kind of nerdy, but I was
right up your alley.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed their company. One of them still works there, since I quit. But once I quit, one of the guys that I worked with, he also quit, and then one of the other people, the second guy, he just moved from being backstock, and I think he like works in the deli or something different. But I had a good time there overall, but what I was talking about earlier about the comment about my managers was very weird relationship with my managers. So
hey, Coda Kid.
Yeah, one of the girl managers, like I'm pretty sure she had a crush on me, and she was like 60, and then the the female or the male manager that was like my direct manager. I swear to God, one of the weirdest people I've ever worked with in my life. He definitely had a crush on me. It wasn't even like a slight thing. It was just like he like after I quit. So when I went to college, my plan was, all right, I'm gonna just quit this job because my college was in Lincoln, an hour away. I was like, all right, I'll just quit this job, and I'll find a job in Lincoln or something. So, all right, so I was going to go to college and get a different job, and I was going to quit the initial job that I had. So that was the plan, and yeah, my direct manager was not a fan of that idea. He kind of lost his mind when I told him I was going to quit, and he begged me to stay. He allowed me to change my whole work schedule. He gave me a raise. He
Oh my
like
gosh, I forgot about that.
I literally like drove back to Omaha every weekend and worked there for 2 days a weekend. And like
Yeah.
6 hours a day, not even like the full 8 hours. So like it was cool that they like all liked me that much, but on his end it was pretty weird because like after I eventually like had to quit because I got another job, um yeah, no, he didn't like that, and I don't know if it was on purpose, but yeah, he definitely like it looked like he followed my dad home from fucking where I worked, and so
Oh,
he found out where I lived, and one time he ran into my dad at Menards, weirdly enough, and
he called him father. I don't know what that was about.
he didn't do that, but so my dad was looking at like screws or something, I don't remember, and he noticed that the guy was behind him. I'm not gonna say his name, obviously, and
We'll
he
call
just
him
like
Kevin.
he just like, oh, maybe if I stand here and look at these screws long enough and not pay any attention to him, he'll leave. Yeah, my old boss just like stood behind him with his arms crossed, just like waiting for him to turn around. Just really weird.
Oh,
Probably about 5 minutes.
I don't think I ever heard that story.
Yeah, no, my dad told me about it, and I was like, ah, that's super weird. But
I'm sure your dad loved that too, because your dad's not at all paranoid or anything.
no, he's totally fine all the time. But
Yeah,
so
that's
that
amazing.
happened, and like he still goes to my current job now, and when he realized I worked there, he goes there like so much more often. But
Wait, really?
yeah, yeah.
I love that.
But
That makes me
needless to
happy.
say, I eventually quit that job because I got an internship at an engineering company, and I already had two other jobs. So I was trying to have four full jobs.
Okay,
So
but Dakota, can we just be honest here? Can you blame him?
shut up.
If I was your manager, I would also be giving you a raise to stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Comment down below if Dakota's cute enough that you'd give him a raise.
Whatever.
Continue.
But yeah, that was it for my family fair job at the grocery store. But all right, back to Jesse. What about after Menards?
After Menards, I've worked so many jobs, it's so hard to keep them all on track. And like some jobs, like I had maybe 2 or 3 that lasted a long time, and like I had second and third jobs too. So it's not like I just was like, here 2 weeks, gone. Here 2 weeks, gone. There was a couple 2-week jobs, but you know, it happens. I think after Menards, after that, I think that's when I went to Walgreens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I worked at Walgreens a long time. That was also a super dope job. I don't remember why I left, actually. I don't remember if I got
I don't
fired.
either.
I
I
liked that
actually don't
job. Like,
remember what happened with Walgreens.
yeah, it was a good job. Like I liked the people. The work was easy. I really don't remember why I ever left. Or got fired, or however it went down. But yeah, no longer there. It might have been because I kept missing, because I do that. But after
Yeah,
that, I
when
worked at
Jesse doesn't feel like
Walgreens.
going to work, he just like it's like
Doesn't.
I'll be fine. Yeah, it's something he picked up from his mom, but
Hi, Mom. Don't miss our word of the week and our weekly shout outs to my mom. Usually all good things.
yes.
But yeah, after that it was Walgreens. Where else have I worked? I've worked at Tilly's, which if you live in Omaha, it's a spot in the mall.
Yeah, I don't know if is that everywhere or is it just in Omaha?
I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. It's like a skater shop. It's clothing.
It's kind of like a more PG, or no, it's kind of like a Vans store.
Kind of. It's kind of like Zoomies. I'd compare it closely to Zoomies.
Oh, I've never been to Zoomies. So.
You've never been to Zoomies?
No.
What are you, uncultured? So I listened to a lot of Tyler the Creator growing up, so like I loved Zoomies.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard more than 2 of his songs, but
I've had jobs from that. I was a manager at a candy shop called Candyopolis. I worked at Taco John's.
I've never worked a fast food job. This is why I'm having so much trouble with this game.
I did. I worked fast food. That was the only fast food job I had, and that was a second job. Probably the longest place I've worked at was a factory called, I'm not going to name it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
We'll call it SMJ. So when I worked at SMJ, I was like, you know what? I should get a second job because I live in an apartment by myself and I'm going to go broke. So I picked up a second job at Taco John's and I hated it. That was one of my worst jobs. It was the exact moment where I was like, yeah, this isn't going to be long. We were kind of slow, and my manager, who also had a crush on me, me and Dakota, we just flirted our way into jobs, TBH.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like, hey, we're kind of slow. Do you have a speaker on you? And I was like, speaker? I was like, no, I got headphones. And he's like, cool. Put those in, and I need you to dance with the sign outside. So I was out there spinning a sign, trying to promote what is it called? A pound and a something? I don't know. Do you get like 6 pounds?
Oh, 6 pound or 6-pack and a pound.
Six pack and a pound. I remember it had some kind of ring to it. Yeah.
It's the only thing I get at Taco John's.
Pound. Yeah. And I was just sitting there just looking at everybody and like watching people look at me and just like, oh wow, I bet he hates his life. And don't worry. I do. Yep. And it closed down immediately after I was gone. After I quit, the week after, it just shut down. Like
I remember that.
I was like, what happened?
Yeah, now it's some place called like Curry in a Hurry, and that's literally so that place is how I find. I'm not gonna say whose house it is, but that's how I literally found directions to that house because I never remembered the address. So I just looked up Curry in a Hurry, and don't worry, it was always there.
I didn't know that, and that's so funny. I want to go there. I've never had curry. I know it's spicy, and I like spicy food, but yeah. I've had Indian thing food before, but anytime I ever leave a job, I'm not kidding.
Yep.
Horrible things happen in the place of business afterwards. Like, it either closes down, and it's not me, I promise. Like, Candyopolis, I was a manager at Candyopolis.
It's not a thing anymore.
Not the flex, but you know. And yeah, like 2 weeks after I quit that job, that's a funny story. I'm going to tell that after this. But after I quit that job, they just closed down everywhere. They're like completely without a trace. I think it's like a sports store now in the mall.
Yep.
Okay, so with Candyopolis, I thought the job was dope. I was a manager, so like I didn't tell people where I was a manager at. I was just like, they're like, oh, what do you do? I was like, I'm a manager. They're like, of what? You know,
nothing.
Stuff that needs managed. And how I got that job was an accident too. I was walking around in the mall, and the lady came up to me, and she was like, hi, are you over 18? And I was like, yeah. She's like, cool. Are you looking for a job? And I was like, actually, I am. She's like, cool. Do you want an interview in about 5 minutes? And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, we're needing a manager position. I was like, this is how easy it is? Like, what the hell?
Like, cool. I didn't know they were just handing out jobs here, but.
Yeah, and then, like, I was just wanted some pieces of chocolate and a butterscotch root beer. But yeah, I did a little quick interview. They asked like the most basic questions ever, and I went towards the next week. It was sick. I came home. Mom was like, "What'd you get at the mall?" And I was like, "A job." She's like, "Haha, what'd you actually get at the mall?" And I was like, "A job." But yeah, so I worked there, and it was cool. It was the most boring job I've ever had because it really wasn't popular. So like, it was just me walking around a candy store stealing. Which is very bad. I didn't actually steal. They let me. They were like, yeah, you can have samples. We call it samples. And I was like, got it. So I'm going to sample the hell out of this licorice real quick. Got it? Cool.
Cool. Glad we're in agreement.
Yeah. I don't actually like, it's not a thing like Mumbles loves licorice. That's the only candy I can think of off the top of my head. Don't start sending me licorice. But I just like no one would be there, and I would just be me walking around. So how I eventually lost that job, I lost/quit that job. I'm such a bad employee. If you're watching this and you're thinking about hiring me, please don't. Just because I care. This is great. I'm so excited for like colleges and stuff to look back through my history, and they're like, "Oh, you put out a podcast that said not to hire you?" Correct, I did.
I was a warning for me back then.
I wear my heart on my sleeve. But so what happened? I got really sick, and it was just me working because I was the manager, not the flex or anything. But so I was the manager, and it was just me, and I was in the back room, and I just felt super sick. And then I got like super sick. I like passed out and fell over in the back room. I started puking everywhere. Don't worry, super sanitary. I know it's where we sell candy. Maybe that's why they're not there anymore.
That's so gross.
Yeah, it's great. I didn't like getting anything. Anyways, we're not gonna get into the depths of my puke.
Yeah, let's not.
I was getting super sick though. Like I was not doing okay, and like I could hear that there's people in the store, and I'm like, just take it. It's free candy day. Please go. And I called my manager. I was like, or like the head honcho, and I was like, hey, I like have to go. Like I'm dying. I think I'm actually like I couldn't like stay awake. Like I was passing out and puking every 2 seconds. I was like, oh look, I gotta go. And she was like, well, I'm not supposed to work for another like 2 hours. You're gonna have to wait. And I was like, so that's how this is gonna go. Good. I was
Well,
the
I'm
manager, so I had
leaving.
keys. I locked up. I closed down shop, locked the door, put a note on, and I dipped. Puked the entire way out. Had my dad come pick me up. Good times. Well, she finally got there whenever she was supposed to get there. And she was like, did you close down the store? And I was like,
Yeah, I told you.
did you come help me when I said I was sick? Guess we have our answers. And she was like, you can't do that. The mall will fine us and da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, that's really sucks. That's really unfortunate news.
I'm so sorry.
Oops. And she was like, well, that can't be happening. I'm going to call da-da-da-da, and you're probably going to lose your job. And I was like, you know what? I'll lose candy manager. I'm sorry. Adios, muchacho. I tried to warn you guys. You guys didn't help me out. Whatever.
I'll save you the phone call. I quit.
Well, hold on. She called, and she was like, yeah, you're out of here. Da-da-da-da. Turn in your badge. And I was like, wait. I told you guys that I was sick, and so I left because of medical reasons. So you can't fire me for medical reasons. And she was like, give me 1 second. And she called back the person, mad as hell. She was so upset. I was like, bro, we didn't make an extra $50 in candy. I'll give it to you. I'll buy you a pack of Snickers. So she was all freaking out, and she called the person back. She's like, be at work tomorrow if you're feeling better. And I was like, that's better. Thank you. The next day, God, I'm such a bad person. I promise I'm doing better now, and like I'm actually like got my stuff figured out. But Mumbles was a bad kid. I was like 17, 18. The dumb years. And the next day came when I was supposed to work, and again I was scheduled by myself, and I didn't want to go. And she called me, and she was like, Jeffy, are you not at work? And I was like, correct. And she was like, well, why not? And I was like, because I quit. And then I hung up the phone. Wow. I went in to return my badge, and she's like, why did you argue for your job back if you were just going to quit the next day? And I was like, principal, and walked away.
Because I wanted to be the one to do it. I leave on my own terms.
Said she'd beat me if I quit again, or if I get fired.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, I wanted to go on my terms. I didn't want it on my record because I cared about that. And so yeah, I left Candyopolis.
Yeah.
Never looked back.
All right, so
that was a job that I missed.
Yeah, so the reason my family first story was so long is that's like the longest job I ever had. I think that was like 3.5 years.
Gosh, you worked there way too long.
Yeah, I got stuck there the last like 2 years. The first time I tried to quit was like 2 years in, and that was when he begged me to stay and everything. But the reason I was gonna quit at that point in time was because I had picked up a second job. I'm not gonna name this place because I probably wasn't the best employee there either. But
let's just face it, neither of us are good employees everywhere.
If you've ever been to a Super Bowl party, let's just say you've had their products. You figure that out. All right, so I started working here. If I ever got an interview with a place, I never didn't get hired up from the interview. I don't know if it's
same.
Just
I'm really good at interviews,
but I was always good at dressing the part, looking real nice, going to answer some. They're mostly not very
we're respectful
good questions.
When we need to.
Yeah. So I got hired on the spot. So for about 3 months, I was working both jobs at the same time, and that was when I was like, I need to quit because I'm going to school. I didn't tell them that I got another job because I don't know how jobs feel about like double dipping employees, but
Fair.
so I worked at this job for like 2.5 years, and it was a really good job. I got paid the most I had ever been paid for a job per hour, and I worked like 20 hours a week because I was still a full-time student, and I had another job that I was working like 30 hours a week, and I kept that job up until coronavirus, and I don't so the way I lost that job, I didn't quit, but I don't know if it counts as being fired. Like, I wasn't like, my parents were like super like all about the coronavirus. Like, I was stuck inside from January to like May,
I didn't
and
see you for 6 months.
yeah. So yeah, in January when I just quit going to work, they didn't like that. So
Yeah.
like I tried to text them. Um, I don't know if it was bad on their part or on my part, but like I like couldn't leave my house. Like I was stuck. Like
Your
trust me,
dad
it
wouldn't
wasn't
let you, like, you guys were locked.
like I couldn't even go to the grocery store. Like we had yeah, it was a mess.
You had to sneak away to come to my house, and I didn't see Zach and Austin for a long time. Like, I forgot what they looked like.
Yeah, and the one time I snuck to Jesse's house, my parents were like, "Yeah, you're not allowed to come back until you're there at least long enough to quarantine." So I was
Yeah,
at
so you lived
Jesse's
on my
house for
couch
like
for
a
a long
month.
time. Yep.
And so I got fired from that job technically. Um, but at the same time as I had that job, um, so I had quit the family for a job at this point, and about a year into having that job, I started a work study, which I'm gonna count as a job. It's a job that the school, so like there's a bunch of different work studies you can do, and like the interviews are all through the school and everything. And so I got hired on to be like a teacher, but like a teacher's like helper. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I would teach like the whole class, and sometimes I would like take the bad kids out of the class and like teach them one on one, or I would like do group activities with them. And this was like the first year I did it. It was kindergarten and first grade, which was awesome. The second year I did it, it was first grade and third grade. So I loved those kids. That was so fun. Like
Which was
that was
crazy to me that you did that. Like, I didn't expect that from you.
it's like my favorite job that I've ever had, probably other than the one I have now. Um, but that job was great. Um, I really enjoyed my time there. I got to teach kids how to do math or count or know what a letter is, which I thought was I don't know. I just thought it was super crazy that I was the one that was like being able to do this thing.
I made a
Yeah.
difference.
And like I have my name tag somewhere and it says Mr. Dakota, and that's what all the kids called me, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, like two of the kids found out I streamed, and they found my streams, and I was like, all right, so this is gonna be a PG stream since you're in here.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I only slipped up cursing one time in front of a kid. It was when we were doing
Did
flashcards
you?
we were doing flashcards one on one with this like fourth grader who was like being a terrible student and like being all sorts of bad. And I was doing flashcards in the hallway with him. It was only me and him, and I dropped the whole deck of flashcards on the ground. And I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Oh." I
Oh
was like,
my gosh.
if you forget you heard that, we don't have to do these flashcards."
Oh my
Yeah, and I was
gosh.
like, he was a really good kid. Yeah, great job. He only missed a couple, but we got him. We got him through. Sent him back in the classroom. Forget that
Oh
happened.
my gosh.
And yeah, the only reason I wasn't able to do that job again was because of coronavirus, and the whole program shut down and pretty much kicked everybody out. So I couldn't work there anymore. That sucked. So I lost those two jobs, and then another job. This was probably like my most prestigious job, so I'm not gonna say the name of the
Ooh,
place. Um,
prestigious.
I got a paid internship, like $15 an hour, best paying job I've ever had, and I'm not gonna say it was a big engineering. It was a big engineering firm, and I talked about it in another episode, but I was helping them design certain things or revise designs or fix little
Dakota,
errors
I'm
that
gonna
they had.
expose you. He worked at IKEA. It wasn't that prestigious.
We don't even have an IKEA in Nebraska.
Well, now I look dumb then.
But yeah, it was like a 45-minute trip there every morning at like 6 in the morning. I worked there like 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then I on top of that I still had the job at the second place I talked about, and I still worked sometimes for the school because like they had like some online things I could do to like create curriculum for like, oh, we're gonna make a PowerPoint on robotics. Here's this, or we're gonna like, I don't know. They had me creating like PowerPoints and stuff for the teachers to use, so I would do that sometimes. So I had 3 jobs at this point in time, um, and that was a short-term internship. Probably the coolest thing I've ever done. Like the internship program there was amazing. Like they took us to dinners sometimes. We had like crazy, like one time we went to, oh, where did we go? Like we all took a trip to like the zoo or something, and it was
That's
super
so
cool.
sick.
I loved that place. Great times. But that's about it for the jobs that I used to have, and the rest are just jobs that I can have right now. And back to Jesse, so he can get
Yeah.
to the rest of his
So
because I talked for a
my
while.
last job that I had, well, besides like I did, like I bounced around and did construction here, and like I've worked everywhere. I've worked worked on cars. I've done construction manager. Yeah, I've been everywhere. But that also means that like I like learning, and that's why I kind of like branching out. Is because like I know a lot of stuff about everything.
Yeah, a little bit of
Um,
everything.
yeah, I really didn't mean to sound that cocky and arrogant. I've I've been trained and learned how to do a bunch of different stuff. It wasn't just the same field. Um, but my last job, and it was my favorite job, and then it very quickly became not my favorite job.
Yeah.
So I was dating this girl for a long time. But
That's
toward the
his
beginning of
last
a
ex, which
relationship,
we'll get into later.
yeah, this is my last ex. I thought it'd be a good idea, and I was like, you know what? Her dad thinks I'm a lazy bum. I'm gonna go work for him.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Oh my god, it was really cool at first because like I kind of was the double agent, so like I heard what the employees were saying, then I heard what the boss was saying, so I was just like, this is cool. I'm the middleman. And like people would ask me, they're like, hey, you hear anything about them raises? And I was like, ah, we ain't getting them. So you know, I was like the little spy for both sides. But it was cool. Like I did good work. I made really good. That's my highest paying job I've ever had because eventually I worked my way up. I was a technician there, and I got really good at it, and I really liked the job. The people there were all super cool. I still talk to a couple of the people that were there. Go to knows who.
Yep. Great people.
But great people. But yeah, I really liked it. But you know, it was my girlfriend's dad. So when like I messed up at work, I heard it back at the house. Like
Or when I
she'd be
messed
like,
up at
"Oh,"
the house, I heard it back at work.
or I messed up at the house. Yeah, I'd be like, "Jesse, can you come in here for a second?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So I heard that my daughter is sad because," I'm like, "Ah, dang it." And vice versa. It'd be really like we'd be eating dinner with this family, and he would just throw in little like, "Yeah, no, I had a pretty good day, but you know, someone at work decided they wanted to da 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 da," and I'm like, "Oh wait,
That was
today at work I
me.
decided I wanted to da 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 da. That's me. This is awkward." But yeah. Eventually, he tolerated me for a long time, and it was really like he really was a good boss. I can't talk too much smack. But you know, it got a little awkward because obviously me and her are not dating anymore. So when me and her came crashing down, so did my place of employment. I don't think it was an accident. Within a week of us done talking, I got fired. That happened. That definitely happened. That did not go well. I got fired over a text message too. Like I worked there for like 2 years, and I got fired over a text. I was like, really? That's how you're gonna break up with me, sir? Whatever. Didn't even have the
Yeah.
respect to do it in person. I
Yeah,
missed
when I
one
got
day.
fired from that place that I got fired from because of Corona, I got like a fancy letter.
I got a text. He said your place of employment is terminated, and I was like, what? Why? And they're like, felt like it. I was like, yeah, you're right.
That makes
He's
sense.
like, I know the answer, but it's cool. I'll leave. But yeah, that's fun. Don't work for your significant other's parents. Don't work for your significant others. Don't find significant others in the workplace. Just keep love and jobs separate.
Separate, yes. Great advice
You
going
can love your
from
job.
Mumbles. A little bit of Mumbles
Right.
motivational since he hasn't done that in a
A little
while.
bit of Mumbles motivational. You know, I might start back the account up after like a year and a half or however long it's been.
Yeah, those people
Don't
are all
follow it.
non-motivated.
All of them, they're all losers now and don't do anything.
It's all your fault.
I just don't post stuff on my actual whatever. Coda, so where do you work now?
Okay, so when Corona happened, I lost 3 of my jobs. One of the jobs I forgot to talk about that I lost was a manual labor job. I was working at my apartment complex, digging holes, doing siding, fixing stuff inside, and kind of like Jesse, I've done a little bit of everything. Like I've helped my family members do work, and I've helped a lot of people do like a bunch of different things. Like, oh, you want to do carpet? You want to do drywall? You want to do electricity? You want to put windows in? Yeah, but so I was unemployed for the whole time I was stuck inside, so I had to find like different things to do online. Like I was streaming every day, obviously, and then I found like a company that like allowed me to test out websites and apps pretty easily. That was like about $20 every time I would get like a job, and it took like 15 minutes to do. So that was pretty easy. I got some money from that, obviously not enough to live off of because my credit score took a fucking dump on me because of Corona, because I obviously couldn't work, and I kept spending money like I had money when I didn't. So that was dumb. But when the first time I was ever let out of the house, I started door dashing. That job has been actually really fun. It has its ups and downs, obviously. If you've ever done door dashing, it's not super hard, but there's days when it's like, oh, I get an order after an order after an order after an order, and I never stop driving. Or there's times when you'll wait like 3 hours in your car and you get one order for $3, and you'd be like, damn, this sucks. But I made a lot of money off DoorDash. Like I was treating that like my full-time job. My last car actually took a shit on me mid DoorDash, and it never started up again until like recently.
That happened often too.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, this is familiar. So that car's not made for door dashing. So I couldn't do DoorDash for like 3 months after that. But when I got my new car, I jumped back into it. But I messaged my uncle, who owns a video game store in Omaha called Ben's Game Zone.
So perfect.
I love this job. Favorite job I've ever had. If you live in Omaha,
so perfect for you too.
Yeah, if you live in Omaha, go there. If you haven't been there already, pretty sure we put gamers out of business. We buy video games and movies and VHS tapes from people, and we sell systems and everything you could ever want video game wise.
Like if you want to go get systems and stuff, like that's like the cheapest place I've ever found video games or like anything I like. Like they got comic books, pop figures. We're giving your uncle. We're trying to get some sponsorship right now. So
yeah,
go check out Ben's Game Zone.
Like you want a Game Boy or a Nintendo Switch or
they got
original
all, like, the
Nintendo
old stuff too.
Yeah, everything. But
go on down to Ben's Game Zone and buy all the latest.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, if you don't live in Nebraska, he doesn't have a website. He sells some things on eBay, but that's hit or miss sometimes because we're always super busy since Corona, like not Corona ended, but like since things have opened back up, it's been nonstop. So I haven't worked in the store very much. I was scheduled to work in the store one day out of my like work week, but So what I've been doing is I've been working at an undisclosed location. I'm gonna bleep that out because I'm not trying to get my uncle robbed. But um, so I'm working at an undisclosed location. I'm pricing video games, DVDs, Blu-rays, systems. I'm using like eBay and stuff to average out the prices that they're selling for, and I just mark them up. He has like his own little system to make sure that we're like the cheapest place around, and sometimes I'm like,
he hacked Walmart's
sometimes
price matching. That's all it is.
sometimes I'm like alphabetizing like 900 video games, which takes a while, but I also get the pluses of being able to like watch movies and have my phone around me when I'm working, which is
The
not
entire time.
which is like you can't say that for most jobs. Like I'm literally like, oh, I'm pricing all these movies, but I'm also like watching the whole John Wick series, which I've never seen before last week.
Oh my gosh. You have the easiest job on the planet.
And then more recently, I've been like testing out systems, like testing out controllers, make sure the buttons work and everything like that. And sometimes debating or depending on what's wrong with the system or controller, I've learned to fix some things because I mean it's not that hard. Like anybody could watch YouTube videos on how to fix something. It's just whether or not you want to put the time into it. So this last week I've been fixing like Xbox One controllers, PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, and then
Not to flex on them, but you know.
sometimes I'll do like a little bit of soldering to replace the batteries inside of old Game Boy games or just various things. I'll do a different thing every day.
Do you
So
recognize how smart Wizards is for just like 2 seconds?
yeah, I used to do engineering, so
And
I
this is
can.
why managers flirt with him. He's got the looks, he's got the brains. What more could you want?
Well, thankfully at this job, my manager does not flirt with me because we're not in Alabama. But
And yeah, you guys are related, so that would
yeah,
cause a little bit of distress.
yeah, but he told me that I was like that he was glad that I messaged him because he was looking for a new employee and he knew that like I was like one of the only people that he could trust working at this place that I won't name.
Because he
And
didn't know any better.
yeah, I've loved it. I actually get paid really well. I've gotten like 2 raises already. I've been there for like 6 months, and he also does like these work parties. Like we went paintballing together and went out to the
I know,
casino
I'm
and got
so
drinks.
jealous of you always.
It's it's awesome. I love my job, and he also gives me like discounts on everything. And I love video games, so I take advantage of that. But
Fair.
let's get to Jesse's jobs post Corona, or I guess after his last job.
Um, well, after I lost my actual like my long term job, because I would have worked at that factory for a long time. I really liked that. But I immediately started doing construction. I started helping just some people I know do construction. I won't name names or get super in depth with that, so I don't anger myself. Um, but yeah, I started doing construction. Um, and then after that, that didn't work out well at all. Where did I go after
Yeah,
that? What was I after that? Yeah, I was doing carpet work and stuff like that. Now I'm back
yep.
at another factory, which is super chill. I like it. I mean, it's not the highest paying job, but like the people are all super cool. They're all really nice. Because I do music and everything, it's really flexible for me. Like they don't care if I'm not there because there's so many people. God, I sound like a horrible employee. Please hire me if you're watching this. Most of this is jokes. It's just lols. I'm not that horrible
We're all
of a person.
This is all clickbait for the views. This has all been
Yeah.
cap. We're actually both been unemployed for our whole lives.
I've never had a job. This is my mom's basement. I just sleep on the floor now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say
That
where I'm
futon's
at.
my bed. What?
I said, yeah, I'm not gonna say where I'm at.
Oh. Oh. One of us is in their parents' basement. You decide. But
Great
yeah,
times.
no, it works because it's flexible for music. So like when I have like tours or shows or whatever, you don't have to flex. Then like it's easy. It's good for me. But yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. Uh, Staying employed hasn't always been a hard thing for me. I know it has for Jesse, but um, when I was unemployed for the first time, it was the weirdest feeling of my life, and I really didn't like it. Um,
Yeah.
But what are some crazy stories from work, if you have any?
I've had everything from bosses selling drugs on site, to the whole puking thing at Candyopolis.
Yeah.
At Walgreens, I constantly had to like kick out homeless people so they weren't jerking off in our bathroom. That is not a joke.
That does
They
sound like it
would
would be a problem.
purchase magazines, take them to the bathroom, and then try to return them. That was always a good time. As far as anything crazy, I mean, not anything like too nuts. I mean,
What about your
my one job,
Walgreens incident
Walgreens
outside?
incident. The wreck?
When you went to go get food.
Oh yeah, I got robbed. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's
fun.
the one I was thinking of.
I was like, wait, what happened to Walgreens? It was like somebody drove into the building. That was crazy. Yeah, I'm dumb. So like I talked about before, I'm blind. So like if you want to easily rob me, you know, I'm a
Wait
good target.
till it's like past 6.
Yeah, wait till it's past 6 and just walk right up to me and take my stuff. I won't know what's happening.
I won't even see you
Please don't
coming.
come to my shows and rob me. I'm gonna have to start performing in the daytime.
This is all jokes you can actually see.
But yeah, I was on break and I didn't pack lunch. I was like, you know what? I don't have a car either. I'm just gonna walk to Panda Express and get some food. So I was walking to Panda Express and I was in the Petco parking lot. I was off the Walgreens off 72nd. So you guys, I'm trying to paint a picture so you guys know exactly where I was at, which is also like a fantastic part of town. But yeah, this dude was also walking in the parking lot and he came over and said some not nice things and held something that I was blind, but I'm pretty sure it went boom. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna comply. And he's like, give me your wallet. And so I said, okay, sir. And
Jesse's always
he
been
took my
dumb
money.
and keeps cash in his wallet. He hasn't done
That's what I
that
was gonna
recently.
say next.
For those who are trying
I'm
to
not
rob
better
him, he
at it.
doesn't he doesn't keep cash in his wallet.
I've been robbed 3 times now. So yeah, I stopped putting cash in my wallet after the third one. I was like, you know what? Maybe I put it in a safe or like
Yeah,
a
that
guy's
that guy was like expecting like $30, and Jesse just pulls out like 3 blue ones and he's like, "Oh, here you go."
Yeah, he went back to the house so happy, like, dude, God's taking care of us. I'm just glad I could be a blessing in someone's life, and they came around the right guy. Like he's blind, he has a bunch of cash on him, no one's around.
Like, bro, I held a pen to this kid's head, and he just handed me $300.
I was just joking and said, "Give me all your money," and he started crying and gave me all of it. I wasn't even trying to do anything.
Like, what if it was like one of like your friends? It was
This
like
tiny
somebody that you
nerdy
work
kid.
with.
It was my
He's
manager.
Like, oh, I know how
I
to
got
get him.
tipped $400 today.
Gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, if you ever get bored and want to rob somebody, you know, you do what you want.
You do what you want with that information.
Yeah.
My scariest stories are probably door dashing, because like in Omaha there's like 4 sections where you can do door dashing, and for most of the people that live in that live in Omaha, you know, North Omaha is not the best part of town. There's no reasoning behind it. It's just like it's not a great part of town. Yeah, like it's so like sometimes, so my dumbass not paying attention. So the downtown Omaha like sector also includes North Omaha, and it was like past midnight, about 1 a.m. I was like, oh, let's go do some door dashing, because they had like some peak paying hours, so it was like plus $3 for every delivery you do. And I was like, bet, I'll get some easy cash. And I'm probably only gonna tell 2 of these stories because there's a lot. They both happened at the same McDonald's. I kept going back to the same McDonald's, and the first time I go through there, was like a 30-minute wait. Like for some reason, everybody wants McDonald's at that time. Probably because it's the only place that's open. And I'm behind this guy who's like in an SUV without any license plates. The back window smashed out. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. And he is screaming at the person, because he was doing DoorDash too, or maybe he was trying to pretend he was DoorDash to get some free food. I don't know exactly, but he like kept trying to show the worker like his phone, and like the order number or whatever, and she's like, yeah, that's not in our system. Like you're gonna have to come back with a correct number. And he was just like cussing at her and like kept like jumping through the window, like getting out of the window like
Jeez.
close to her. And then she's like, yeah, you're just gonna have to drive off. And he's like, motherfucker, I've been waiting in this line for an hour and you're gonna make me leave and come back? She's like, yes, I am. And he goes to drive off, and I think she just says like, have a nice night or something, and I don't think he liked that, and he slammed on his brakes, and he was like, it looked like he was looking in the back seat. I was really hoping he wasn't gonna pull out a gun. I thought that's where this was going. And she shut the window and like got out of the way, and he just sped off. So I don't know what happened. I was terrified because I was right behind him. I'm a witness. I'm fucked.
Go to do his plays. He's gone. He's seen the movies.
So that was great. And the next story wasn't as like scary. I just thought it was funny. I came back around because I had to get another order from McDonald's. Wait another 40 minutes. And I'm just vibing to music in my car. Windows are tinted, so people usually can't see me, especially at night. And I just hear this, or I see this like lady like flailing her arms in the car next to me on the left side because it's like a 2-lane drive-through, and she's just flailing her arms, getting out of the car, like looking at me and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is this lady doing? And I just like pretend to ignore her, and she's like yelling and stuff, and I'm like a 98% sure she's drunk off her ass. And I'm like, what is this person doing? She's just yelling, like flailing, like the person that's driving just like keeps doing the thing like you press the gas and press the brakes, press the gas, press the brakes. I don't know what their problem is. And I finally rolled on the window. She like screams like, "Hey! I love your license plate!" I'm like, motherfucker, you did all that for that? So, if you guys don't know, my license plate says "Sent It" on it because I'm a Nelk Boys fanboy. There's the full send flag back there.
I feel like you probably shouldn't disclose your license plate.
I posted the picture all over the internet, and I think it's cool. So, if you want to find my car and say what's up, then say what's up. I don't care.
Dakota's getting swatted. So, yeah, come rob Mumbles and swat Dakota.
Yeah.
Good times.
I'm going to, like, Photoshop my my picture just so the letter changes to a different letter. It's actually it says "send it" with a 3 as the E. Yes.
Wow.
Because here we're all about numbers and our names.
I think we're good. I think that was another solid.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to go that well.
Oh, Coda.
What?
I just looked at my computer. There was an issue. It hasn't been recording.
Jesse's capping.
Jesse's capping. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Because if it wasn't recording, I was just going to post this whole thing without your picture. I wasn't out recording that again.
I figured.
Because I have your audio. I don't need the visuals.
We don't need to see it. We don't care.
I need like Photoshop a picture of you in there.
I just wanted you to start yelling at me again.
Yeah, it kind of scared me there for about half a second, and then I realized Jesse's voice wasn't changing at all, so... Jesse's a very bad liar.
No, I'm not.
I have never lied in my life.
I have never lied.
But yeah, that's going to be it. That's going to be it for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to try and get this edited.
Please.
Put up.
Push the like. Push the subscribe. And put a comment if you're really feeling generous.
Yeah.
Please.
We love the comments. We try to respond to all of them. I know we've missed a couple. I'm probably going to go after this and reply to the rest.
Yeah.
We hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you're still here, congratulations. You're the true homie. If you're still here, I'm going to throw in some behind-the-scenes information that the people that don't watch the rest won't know. We are currently in the works of putting together some merchandise for you guys. Not sure when that's going to drop. I don't even... Very rough ideas, but they're awesome, and I'm so excited. So stay on the lookout for that. We're obviously going to post a bunch of shit about it once it comes to life, but be ready for that. And then we're almost halfway to the OnlyFans, so be sure to hit that subscribe button.
We're coming. 100 subscribers, you're getting an OnlyFans.
And we will see you guys next weekend
Hold on. I heard that Welcome comes out on the 14th of May. Bah!
Peace.
Are you ready?
Yeah. I was born
Are you
ready.
sure you're ready?
Yeah.
Are you actually ready? Because every single episode, you say that you're gonna be ready, and then after like 9 minutes of hold on 1 second.
I mean,
Hold
it's
on,
a little
let me feel
bit.
my dog. Let me talk to my girlfriend.
It's a little bit better than pre-podcast. Oh, about that, we're gonna have to move this to tomorrow. Oh wait, sorry, tomorrow. Yeah, it's just not gonna work. So maybe the next day. Or wait, hold on. Let's just go back and use that one podcast we recorded a while ago and throw it in there because yeah, the next day after the next day after tomorrow, it's actually not gonna work. So yeah, maybe this weekend we'll record like maybe this weekend we'll record like 2 or 3, and then we'll be set. Oh wait, yeah, we're gonna get one in.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. And I also, because I'm very busy, there's sometimes that I'm like, oh, I'm not in a good mood. I need to be happy and smiley and laughing for this podcast.
So you need to record the podcast because I cheer you up.
Oh, okay.
Nothing releases more dopamine than video games and my dumbass.
Facts. That's actually my next tattoo.
And gosh, I can't think and talk at the same time. Hold on. I need to take a break.
A word from our sponsor, Mediterranean.
What is
That's
going
our
on?
word of the week.
The game just like added a bunch of new shit that I've never seen before. My mind is just like kind of exploding here. All right, so back to what I was saying.
I didn't finish my word of the week, Coda.
Well, what was your word of the week?
It was Mediterranean.
Oh.
Which is like food.
And it's also like a place, I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just food. It's just Mediterranean food.
Well, okay.
Where did that come from, Mumbles? I don't know either. ADHD?
Probably from the Mediterranean, but...
Shut up.
Number one. Hey.